China's rise is a well-known story in international politics, but as the world watched the country grow into a global powerhouse with the second largest economy on the planet, another issue was growing, and one that has rarely made headlines. China has been criticized in the past for human rights violations, but the country's treatment of the Uyghur population has been particularly harsh. Now, new information has come out that shows that China is taking more extreme measures against this community, sending many Uyghurs to camps for what they call re-education. However, many critics fear that this could alter the makeup of the Uyghur community forever. Welcome to DC Direct. I'm Lionel Donovan. Here in this show, we try to tackle some of the bigger issues in the news, but we want you to weigh in. So feel free to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at TRT World, and reach out to us with the hashtag DC Direct and be a part of the conversation. In today's show, we'll be talking about the Uyghur community in China. Contrary to popular belief, China isn't made up of a single ethnicity. Although one ethnic group, the Han, make up the vast majority of the population, China has around 56 ethnic groups spread across the country. Chinese minorities have had mixed success assimilating into larger society, but the Uyghur community in particular have found themselves living in a strict police state under Chinese law, with draconian restrictions on nearly all aspects of their lives. So what makes the Uyghur community different from the other ethnic groups in China? The vast majority of China's Uyghur community live in the Xinjiang Autonomous Region in northwestern China. The region is rich in resources such as oil and various minerals, and is China's largest natural gas producing region. Xinjiang also plays a huge role in China's Belt and Road Initiative, given its connection to multiple Central Asian countries and India. The Uyghur community is also mostly Muslim, and the Chinese government has used this as an excuse to place strict restrictions on how Uyghurs practice their faith, while also separating hundreds of thousands of people from their families and placing them in camps. Beijing once denied the existence of the camps, but has since admitted to having the camps serve as a place for Uyghurs to get vocational training, and that they also help to combat terrorism in the region.
We do have a lot of training centers, education centers in Xinjiang. They are experiencing professional educations, trainings. They would find better jobs or get prepared for future work.
Human rights activists and those who have survived the camps, however, tell a very different story.
The whole region itself as a jail.
Bahram Sintash is a Uyghur American businessman whose father was put into one of the camps, and he has no idea when he will ever see him again.
My son always asks about his grandfather. He always asks when his grandfather will visit the United States again to see us. So I cannot answer because I usually say maybe next year by lying. I didn't tell him the real what happened to his grandfather right now. So it's kind of emotionally makes me so sad. So this affected me since my father's detention in 1 year. 24/7 thinking about my father.
At this point, Bahram can only receive information secondhand because he isn't even allowed to go back home.
I moved to U.S. only for being, after married, I become an immigrant to here, not political asylum or anything. Politically, I did nothing. Just try to run my business in here. So only because I'm Uyghur, they don't give visa. They say directly to my face, though, you cannot get visa. So since then, I didn't have any chance to go back.
So with all of this going on, what's being done to raise awareness? How are people getting the word out regarding what the Chinese government is doing to the Uyghur community?
People like me, who lost the family members, so they start to speak up because in the past, people don't speak about the politics and anything. So minority of the Uyghur community outside of China, they don't, or maybe they don't want to speak out or against Chinese policies or anything like this. So right now, almost everyone start to speak out.
China's policies towards the Uyghur community send a message that goes far beyond the Uyghurs themselves. Nury Turkel, a Uyghur American attorney and activist, broke down some of the larger ramifications of what's happening in Xinjiang.
For the Chinese, if at all East Turkestan gets out of hand through a political turmoil or upheaval or uprising, it will affect other sensitive regions like Taiwan, Hong Kong. It may have a domino effect. In order to prevent that, they are taking what's called preemptive steps to get rid of a potential political threat, maybe originated from Uyghurs' ethno-national aspirations. It has a economic significance for domestic consumption. East Turkestan has been called or described as China's California because it produces vegetables, fruits, and has a rich natural resources, including crude oil and natural gas and various minerals, including gold. Oftentimes people forget about the folks who are outside the camp because we've been focusing, especially media reporting, have been focusing mostly on the number of people being detained inside the camps and their daily routine activities. But this camp situation, this modern-day concentration camps that the Chinese constructed and managed, have caused immeasurable damages to the families, to health and well-being of the Uyghurs who are living in East Turkestan and outside of the country.
Human rights activists have demanded that China open up the camps for inspection, but so far those demands have been ignored. The Chinese government continues to heavily regulate the Uyghur community, and activists are now calling on the UN and the international community to take stronger actions to condemn this human rights abuse before the Uyghur community and culture is lost forever. Well, that's all the time we have today in DC Direct, but please be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at TRT World, and reach out to us with the hashtag DC Direct and let us know what you think about China's persecution of the Uyghur community. Until next time, I'm Lionel Donovan.